ReganRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
That shit together. But surprisingly, in boxing, that's probably the least of boxing's worries right now. And I hate saying that's the least of the worries because apparently now we have sanctioned bodies who don't give a goddamn whether or not someone tests positive for a stimulant, PED, or whatever or not. Even though, especially if one sanctioned body actually has an actual program for this shit. Of course, like I'm talking about Oscar Valdez, who, you know, obviously he's fighting on Friday, but he tested positive for something that used to. I remember the name it used to be called Phentermine. And I remember he used to have a commercial for that shit all the fucking time when I was in high school. And he used to market that shit as like, you know, this weight loss drug and shit like that. And apparently he tested positive for that. And you know, and Phentermine is a central nervous stimulant. Basically, motherfucker was probably jittery as a bitch, you know, for the last couple of weeks now, trying to lose this weight. That's what it does, you know. And
then they got a drug for everything, I swear.
Yeah, it's like in this one, and I was like, God damn. So it's like, now obviously we're all thinking, okay, yeah, this fight is off. You know, we're probably looking at a fine. WBC's gonna strip them because it's not like WBC doesn't have a president for doing this shit. I mean, when David Benavidez tested positive for coke, they took his belt away and they fined him and they suspended him, like you're supposed to do.
No, hear me out. And he wasn't even training for a fight. He was just hanging out, you know, in Vegas with some broads and, you know,
yeah, he was having
some fun. He wasn't even fighting it. He wasn't even literally in a fight camp. I don't even know if a fight was coming up. Maybe it was coming up, like, but he wasn't in training camp or anything, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, when due to their program, when you're a WBC champion, you got to get tested regularly.
Oh,
so that was part of the program. So that's how he got so that's how he got caught, and that's how his belt got stripped. That's how you're supposed to act. But for Valdez, for whatever the fucking reason, the loophole was basically the commission that they're fighting because they're fighting some sort of Indian reservation because Top Rank has been holding these fights on the weirdest fucking places lately. Like, and this is on a reservation where it all determines whether or not the commission will let it slide. And this shit has happened before. And I had tickets for this fight, obviously, for Saunders and Andre. I had fights for this shit. And Andre and Saunders got called the nose spray. And the Massachusetts commission said, upheld it. It's like, yeah, no, dude got caught with that shit, can't fight. He's gone from that card. These are the precedents because you're not supposed to let people fight when they clearly have some shit in their system. No matter what it's a stimulant. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, why would he take a stimulant for?
And you know the funniest tweet I might have seen was when J-Rock, you know, Jalen Williams was like, so I'm confused. Can I take this shit whatever he's taking, or is that only okay for Valdez?
Yeah. Honestly, and all the other fights were asking that shit too. So we're all waiting for this, and then WBC and then the commission, you know, has all the right in the world to throw the fight out, which would have been unfortunate for TR, but that's the right thing. But instead, they let that shit go, which is fucked up. And then the WBC doesn't do a damn thing. It's like, he's on probation now. Like, has that ever really happened? Where a fighter is blatantly caught with something in their system and they're spinning all these yarns and he's still allowed to fight? And what was the excuse for that? What was the excuse? What did Suleiman say about that? Or why did he actually allow him to fight?
He said the bullshit.
Yeah, he said some real bullshit. Because it wasn't the day of the fight. That's what he said. I was like, is that a thing now? Like, really? Like, so that means your clean boxing program is all for nothing. Like, your program is supposed to test your champions whenever you want them to be tested, and then they're tested now, and it's like, okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because and you're Mexican, and you have a lot of money into you. And also, is Oscar? Who handles Oscar? Is it Top Rank?
Yeah, he signed the top. He's signed the top.
No,
rank.
I mean, yeah. There's gonna be no way that they're gonna fucking block the potential Shakur Herring fucking winner versus Oscar.
Yeah, but the thing with that one too is like, and Oscar Valdez made it worse because this nigga was talking about that he was drinking herbal tea. I don't know what herbal tea has a central nervous stimulant in there. Like, if there's a stimulant in there, it just makes you take a dump, like laxative or some shit. Like that's what most teas have. Like, they're not out there drinking funny tea or some shit like that, drinking hippie tea. Like, you serious? This nigga was talking about, and then Fen is like, I think it's available by prescription too at that. So it's like, what is it? It's like Uchiwale or one mic. Like, what the fuck? You clearly, and of course, the big thing, obviously, and all these fighters got on this was the fact that he was the latest Reynoso fighter to get in the camp to get caught. Yeah, that's the big thing. Julio Cesar Martinez, Canelo, Neri. Like.
Oh, Neri's under Reynoso too.
Yeah, he signed. Yep, he's with the Rams. At the time he was, and he got popped.
As the biggest ringing radio Canelo fan, I don't know how Pete feels about it. I know Pat and LB are kind of here, but it kind of makes the fucking Reynoso camp look really, really bad. At the end,
every situation is different, so I try not to be a one size fits all with all this shit. But yeah, the whole handling of this, there's a lot of explaining.
And I mean, also, like, if you look at Ryan Garcia's transformation since he joined the Reynoso camp, I'm not saying he's a young cat, maybe it filled in, but I don't know, man. All this shit seems a little suspect, bro.
Yeah, and then on top of that, Andy Ruiz, like, after knee surgery, looked like he's lost a good amount of weight. And the funny thing too is, like, I've watched Andy Ruiz from the days when he was buried deep in the Pacquiao undercards on Top Rank. And the one thing I used to say, like, dude has skills, but I used to say this nigga needs to get himself into condition. If he got himself under like 230, dude would be beasting, and he's doing it now, pretty much late into his career when he has a lot of collateral damage, from fighting heavy and shit, and he's looking like, he's looking like, okay, he actually has some muscle now and shit like that. So now it just makes everything just real suspicious, and I know. Caleb Plant was like leading the charge. Like, Caleb Plant had bars for the whole camp. Like,
I didn't see much of that because I was busy with work and stuff. I didn't.
Caleb Plant was going off. Bro.
It's on Twitter or some shit. I'm trying to read all that shit.
It's on Twitter. Yeah,
everything. Him and Sonny Edwards been going the hardest at.
I know. I saw Sonny. I saw Sonny in that shit too. Sonny's fighting too. Sonny's fighting on the 11th actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's because most of y'all, not y'all, but a lot of people overwhelmingly thought, Bridgestone wasn't get dude out of there, and it was a great moment. Like, I don't know if it was Tim Bradley saying he hopes the dude he's fighting is not gonna knock Oscar Valdez out, and it just kind of sucks because Oscar Valdez was looking as the underdog. He took tough fights and all this shit, and for that to happen, it's kind of like, come on, man. I had you on my fucking 10th on my fucking repeat list, bro. Come on.
Yeah, and it's Valdez for the most part.
Gotta make you just look at him funny in the light now.
Yeah, and so it's not. Valdez for the most part has always been, we always say he's too much of a Mexican warrior, and it's not necessarily. It could be like you could take it as a term of endearment, or you could take it as it's a legitimate criticism. But dude has always been a tough ass fighter. And for him to actually pop dirty for this type of stimulant, whatever, and he's not stripped of his belt, or he's still fighting on Friday, it's fucked up. And his opponent right now, I think, was the last to hear about it. From what I understand, like, Caseo now, Caseo, obviously the only way this shit can be righted is Caseo can actually legitimately beat Valdez in the ring for his belt. And when we preview it, and it's not out of the realm for him to actually do it, but it might be a little bit of a long shot. I haven't even checked the betting, the betting lines on it. But it's just unfortunate that if Valdez actually goes and like knocks him cold or whatever, or brutally knocks him out, then it's gonna be like, yeah, that nigga has still some shit in the system. And
it might be the black guy in boxing that boxing needs to really, move shit forward.
Right.
Positive, progressive way.
To me, like it's like a double-edged sword. Like I think now a lot of people want Conscience or whatever his name is to get the win, but more than likely it's probably not going to happen. So if Oscar knocks him out cold or something, he's not going to get no credit for it.
Hell no.
And then after the winner, because Shakur and Herring are what, like end of October?
Yeah, it's October.
So yeah, I mean, because the reason why he got away from it is because that fight is gonna happen probably next. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm assuming. Yeah, they want that fight. They want to make that fight.
They want to make that fight.
Yeah, and Valdez losing his belt is not in the cards.
It's not good for business, like businessman would say.
But the problem is he should lose his card. He should lose his belt.
He should have. No, he definitely should have. But with that said, I was like, I have a little hunch in my mind that I think Shakur's a little chinny. So I think even Herring could get him. But if Oscar was to fight him and Oscar knocks him out, then like it just seems like it seems like a disgrace of boxing.
It would be a joke, and I know too because I was looking at who would be the top two if Valdez was stripped. And number one is Burchell is still number one, and O'Shaquie Foster is number two. And O'Shaquie Foster has been campaigning for his belt. Like he wants that. Like technically, he should be fighting for that belt.
Is he good? I mean, does he have the goods? Like is he legit?
O'Shaquie Foster is a good fighter. I mean, depending on where you might think. Like, his step up fights are. He beat Mickey Roman on one of those on the Ring City cards, and he beat.
Oh, I remember that one. That was dope. He's the one that he knocked him. He knocked him out.
He knocked him out. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was dope.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, and I know he's been campaigning for him, for Valdez to get stripped, and he should be fighting for that belt too against Burchell. He probably could beat Burchell too, right now. But it's unfortunate that the WBC right now is like saying fuck the rules, and then pretty much one ups what the WBA did last month, with them and the racist judge, so. Yeah, they looked at that shit. It's like, you know what? Hold my fucking beer. Let me see. I got some real fuckery. I can brew up. And Sullivan and the whole Reynoso camp should be ashamed of themselves. Like seriously. And it looks it really sucks.
Did they start testing for Canelo fight yet? Shoot.
I'm saying, right? I mean, he's a WBC champion. Like,
this is the thing, man. Maybe Plant doesn't have the star power like Golovkin had to pressure Canelo and them to do early testing, like how they did for the second fight that got canceled.
Oh yeah,
remember they tested him early, then they saw the trace amounts, and niggas is like, damn, trace amount. It's like, look, it's still there. If you wasn't doing nothing wrong, it wouldn't be there.
You didn't know the carne asada was banned.
What's that?
I was gonna say,
You are speaking to the mic, man. I don't hear you.
I'm saying he ate the wrong, he ate the wrong carne asada. That's all that was.
No, fuck that. He tried to cheat.
Yeah, he ate the wrong. Yeah, he took some cleansed super soldier shit. And that's why I have bars. That's why it's like fuck Canelo to this day, because he knew what he fucking did.
Try to get all mad about it, dude. Just own up to your shit. You can't look funny in the light.
Yeah,
Ruiz stay on injured reserve long enough, he'll probably get caught with something next.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. The Reynoso camp is like under the gun, and then with Caleb, like what Caleb Plant is doing, like it's cool and all, but he knows where his bread is buttered, because he knows if he irritates Canelo enough, Canelo can easily pull out of that fight. And with that goes his $10 million or whatever payday. He knows.
Dude, it's more for Canelo to pull out that fight. He's the one who wants to be undisputed.
Yeah, I actually.
It's going to hurt Canelo a lot more. Like, Caleb Plant is doing the right thing. Talk your shit, young man. You ain't gotta respect Canelo. Canelo's no unbeatable god. Like, the fuck out of here. This ain't prime Roy Jones.
He's looking a little unbeatable though.
Yeah, if you play career mode on UK version long enough, you would.
Hold on. Let me ask you this. Get away from the Valdez shit. Fuck that. So,
Hold on. What'd you say?
No, let's go away from the Valdez stuff. What I'm trying to ask you, Toby, 168 is Plant. Is Plant clearly a better fighter than Callum Smith and BJS?
They're all on the same level. Like, I think he's fighting them in the order of how good they are. Like, Callum Smith was the
Okay. I agree with that. I was wondering what you think of that.
Yeah, like
it's like he fought Papa Bear, Mama Bear, now like
Brother Bear.
Brother.
Grandpa Bear, I guess.
Nah, Grandpa Bear was a Kovalev. You know what? Brother Bear was Jacobs. That was the last brother he fought.
Bars.
He was Brad Bear. Okay, I got you.
He don't want no more black power.
Wait, so who's Benavidez in all this mess?
That's the damn real Mexican DLC content we want to see. I
want to see that one. I want to see that one for sure.
Not that Chavez, son of a legend DLC we got.
Yeah, so it's just like it's good to see fighters because every fighter seems to be like, I know Wars, Bradley, fucking
people need to get more disgusted about this shit.
Yeah, J-Rock, as you mentioned before, it's just like it's just a whole bunch of Eddie Chambers, all the fighters pretty much are like, this is some bullshit. Like, it's definitely out there. Like,
And also don't forget the legend Victor Conte also dropped some bars on that too.
Yeah, Victor Conte, and someone tried to. Yeah, and one of the interesting things because Caleb Plant is a snack athlete as well as other fighters, and snack has Conte has an unfortunate reputation because the motherfucker create shit that makes the clear shit that fighters have took and have actually passed legitimate drug tests for it because he was a couple steps ahead of
back
that.
for it though.
Yeah,
they can't stop playing.
Yeah, and then frankly, people were getting at Plant about that shit. It's like, hey man, you're a snack athlete, so what the fuck is you talking about? What Reynoso and all that shit? Because the Canelo stands were really getting on them about that.
Snack dude served his time though.
He did. He sure did.
So it's like, unless y'all got new proof of anything else, it's like y'all can't really run that excuse no more. Like, just face it, your squad is looking dirty.
What's the correlation with Conte and Snack?
Who was getting everybody them super shakes before?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Snack. Yeah, like you see, Snack is still. It's a new company, and like their supplements are still out there. I know Lukey. Shout out to Lukey. Dude. I think is one of the. He's forever pushing like the Snack products and shit like that. I've never partaken in that.
And he's known to like mask. Like, he knows masking agents for like PEDs and shit. So
like, all you have to do for your new boxer fans, all you need to do is type in Victor Conte and Balco, and then you'll get a lot of.
You'll see a certain sugar's name. I won't throw the name out there, but
you'll see a sugar. But
you'll see some sugar there.
He's not top two sugar, but he's a damn good fighter.
Absolutely.
That top. What else you gonna say? He's not at the bottom either, but
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Conte, and the funny thing is, he's still in boxing to this day. Like I said, Conte worked with Berto Donaire, who's actually which is kind of an oxymoron, since Donaire is one of the legit clean fighters in the sport, as well as Ward. So it's like. So yeah, the rabbit hole goes deep in here, and it's just like Valdez. Unfortunately, he got caught, and he kind of made it, and he made it worse by saying it was tea. Shit, nigga, I want to know the name of that tea, and he still didn't come clean with what that tea was.
Y'all keep the goddamn tainted beef, tainted tea, whatever the fuck that is.
you don't want to.
Yeah, goddamn Family Dollar bargain bin basement Walmart $4 DVD bin ass shit y'all niggas got. Like, I'm good.
I'm saying.
Fuck all that shit. Like, man, just watch. Fuck, you know. When they come, Plant gonna have the comeuppance for Team Canelo. Like, all it takes is for the boss to get beaten, and then the whole squad gonna fall apart.
The dominoes are gonna fall.
We ain't there yet, but it's gonna Canelo wins somewhere 7 through 10 by body KO. He's down.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Niggas keep looking at the Saunders fight, but Plant is different, man. He got a little more urban seasoning than Saunders. Like Saunders is like it's the quiz. It's like the damn the cruise ship food. Like Plant is the food when you get into the actual country of you trying to go to. That's the difference. Now you may say, "Oh, the food on the cruise ship is stronger. It'll fill you up better and da. But it's something about the food in the damn country you want to go to. It's just on another level. Like that little spiciness is. I'm just saying, like you'll see.
Yep, and then you have to stay tuned. And of course, obviously, Friday, I'm pretty sure all eyes are going to be on this fucking fight to see, see what Valdez is going to do.
Is it a Friday card or Saturday?
It's a Friday card.
Friday card.
This Friday.
Yeah, this Friday.
Yeah,
so But yeah, shame on you, WBC, Reynoso's Camp, and Valdez, man, for this shit. For letting the shit go on where it clearly should be canceled. But like I said, we're gonna watch it because it could be a prime state for fuckery to happen. You can't miss the fuckery if it does go down. So, but yeah, that's all I gotta say about that shit. So we do got some.